folks, welcome back to the channel Curious Bike with Alan. This channel is all about maintenance, modification and cycling tips. Today we have a unique request. Not today lah, I mean recently there's a unique request asking me if I'm able to share how to build a Curious bike. Okay, so as you all know, all my bike I self-build them, I self-maintain them and etc. So of course, if you ask me, I didn't spend money to buy all the parts to build this bike over here. Okay, so this afternoon I have taken a video through the process, how I do it step by step. I think with the guide, anyone who are keen to build your own Curious bike, you can do so. Hereby, I'd like to shout out loud to Passion Gadget. Right, they are very supportive of my idea, and for this particular episode, because when I called them up, I said, I'd like to do a build a bike content episode for my channel. So I told them, are you able to support the parts that I want? After which, I will pass the bike back to your shop for sales. Right? So basically, I got the parts all I want to build this bike, and then I'll send this bike back to the shop. And folks, if you're keen on this one and only one that I built for the shop, here's the one. Okay, and of course, as you can see, all this beautiful sticker here, I've also called up sticker creation, right? And I told them about this project. I said, are you able to support by sponsoring a set of sticker? Because I always felt that the frame logo, the original one, is a little bit dull. With beautiful sticker like that, it simply uplifts the look of the bike. So and also all the sticker that I have, and a lot of folks in Curious Bike SG, you know where you get the stickers, because Ashen, right? He's always good and able to negotiate and try to fulfill your requirement. So any folks that ask me, I said, you go there. Okay, so really very thankful. Without Passion Gadget, without sticker creation, today's episode won't happen. Alright, so I hope that you enjoy this episode, right? And check out how you can build a Curious bike on your own. Okay folks, so let me share with you all the specific ingredient or parts for the bike build today. And all these parts are totally brand new, as I personally have collected all these items myself from them. Okay, so first of all, what we're going to use is we have here a Curious Velocity metallic silver frame. Here's the fork, right? And usually it comes with the handlebar stand, the sleeve and the seat pole clamp. Okay, so handlebar wise, we are using the Light Pro carbon fiber handlebar. This is the Light Pro sponge handle grip, right? The headset bearing, we're using the Light Pro one as well, the black color one. Okay, over here the brake, this is the Shimano MT200, very reliable hydraulic brake, right? The size front and back is 160 mm. Right, here's the wheel tape, skewer and the CST inner tube. So for the crank arm, we are using the Light Pro Holotech crank arm to match with the ceramic bottom bracket. This Light Pro chainring here is 53T, and for the pedal we have the Prop Mat, right, pedal. These are very good and smooth pedal. Strongly recommend to all of you. Right, for the chain, you're using the KMC chain. Right, for the group set itself, for the shifter and derailleur, we are using the Tiagra 10 speed, right, with the long cage. And this cassette size here is 1132. Okay, for the saddle, this is a very good saddle. This is actually the SR Sally Royal saddle. Right, for the seat pole wise, we're using the light pro aluminum red color seat pole. So for the wheel, this wheel 451 light pro aero wheels. If you ask me, they are one of the very reliable and good wheels out there. Okay, and for the tire, we are using the Suave one full black, right, tire. And this tire, they are good for road and even for PCN, footpath is fine, right? So over here, these are all the specific items for the bike build today that I'm going to share with you. Okay, so first of all, before you are able to mount the bike frame onto the bike stand, you probably need to fix the seat bolt first. Okay, so for seat bolt wise, you need the sleeve. This always comes with it when you buy the frame, the seat bolt clamp, and of course the seat pole. At this moment in time, you do not need to mount the saddle first. Okay, so for me, I have a habit when it comes to the seat pole clamp, I will apply very thin layer of grease around. So this is for future. If I need to remove the clamp, it will not get stuck, right? Some of them, they get stuck. One thing, you need to force it out, then you probably have some scratches. Okay, so first of all, sleeve first. There's this gap, right? Just go according to here. Then seat pole clamp. Alright. Okay, next thing. So if I do not know where I want to put right now, so I put onto the minimum insert level. Okay, from there I will clamp it slightly. So in this way, we can use the seat pole to clamp on the bike stand and continue the work. Okay, so how will you clamp the seat pole onto the bike? Okay, some of them, they clamp it like that. Okay, which I will not recommend. Usually my recommendation is to clamp as close as the seat pole clamp here. So in another way, this will give support. Okay, and you're still able to twist for some work. So this area is the correct area to clamp. Okay, tackle the headset bearing first. Okay, so over here, this part and the bottom part, you need to put grease. Okay, when you apply grease, you do not need to apply super thick, just good enough. Because this grease is merely to help to ensure the thing can fit in properly. And in future, as always, if you need to remove it, it is not as difficult. It will be. Okay folks, I just need to share with you an headset bearing. If you buy like that, usually you will find online about $10. So what is what? Okay, so this is the headset bearing cover. This is the inner ring that support the fork. This is the one, if you follow my video on how to change the fork, this is on the fork. Okay, then this two is the headset bearing. So okay, so usually what I do is I'll fix these two pieces in first. Okay, total is here. Okay, so for me, basically I myself have all the tools. So you need this, right? What I'm gonna do is, I used to do it like, you know, two pieces at one go, and sometimes I make some mistakes. In a way, I damage the headset bearing. But all these are through experience. Okay, so right now we're gonna fix the bottom piece first. one, just go slow and steady. Do not need to rush. Right, when it's in, just do a slight twist. Okay. So the bottom one is in already. So step 2, right now, top one. Okay, one is done. Slight twist. Okay, so as you can see, here, this is fitted nicely, top and bottom. Okay, later on, what you need to do, you can put some grease again, just slot this thing in. Okay, so again, apply grease here as well. As usual, do not need to be super thick. After which, it's easy for you to slide in the bearing. Okay, so it applies same on the bottom. So this is done for now. Okay, so now comes the fork. Okay, we gotta understand the contact point is here and here. Anywhere that's in between, there's no contact point. So apply grease at this area here. Okay, usual, do not need to overload. Okay, so this piece over here, just gotta slot it in. Okay. It's good. Okay, once you have slot it in, see that? When you place this ring nut, okay, then comes the cover. Okay, so before you fit in the handlebar stem, what you can do is you can apply grease over here. Same thing. Suggestion is always thin layer. Okay, so what you're gonna do, open up. Okay, roughly slot it in. You don't need to worry about the angle first, and make sure that you're able to open up. So once you're able to open up, apply some grease as well on the thread. So what you can do is, this is a 10mm Allen key bolt. Okay. Okay, so more in this way. Okay, so once you fix it, right, you should be able to lock it. So meanwhile, you do not need to worry whether this straighten or not, because a lot of things will need to be adjusted later on. So later when you adjust, then you will tighten this 6mm Allen key bolt. Because meanwhile, this bolt over here has already secured this piece. It can only twist, but it cannot drop. Okay. Okay, so the next thing I will do is to fix up the handlebar. So over here, as we mentioned, we have this Light Pro carbon handlebar. Okay, this is about 108 grams. So I'll share with you how you can measure. When you fix it, this is something you can take measurement, right, to make sure when the handlebar, when it's straight, it looks like that. Okay. So first of all, release this, shape out a little bit. So give you some space, because you need to take out this bolt over here first. Okay, when you take out this bolt, there's this washer over here. Just be careful. You can do without, but this washer is supposed to help you. Okay, so there's a guide here as well. So what you're gonna do, open up, roughly mount it on first, slot it in. Go back. Okay, meanwhile at the same time, everything do not need to be super tight. Okay, so after the handlebar is being fixed, at this stage, right, the next thing I'll do is to fix up the brake caliper with the cabling, as well as the shifter with the derailleur. So as you all know, at this stage, right, should it be the brake go in first or the shifter? So you have right before, remember, this position will be in this way on the handlebar. So let the shifter go in first, the brake lever will come in later. Okay, remember. Okay, so what you can do, slide in the shifter first. Okay, you can just tighten slightly somewhere along the handlebar. Okay. And then release this. Okay, very importantly for me, little tips. You want to have smooth shifting. What I do is you can take a WD-40, spray it on kitchen towel, just drop through it one time or two times to grease the cable a bit. So when you need to shift them, right, they are smooth. Okay folks, so before I run the cable, this is your Kappa 10-speed derailleur. This is the derailleur hanger. So I will mount this up first. Okay. And this is a 5mm, right, Allen key. So all you need to do is just screw it in, out of which tighten it. Okay. Okay, so my habit is always you gotta understand how or where you're gonna run your cable. Okay, so over here there are always two holes. Okay, because the brake hose already have an external part where they run. So here got two holes. Normally I run the one on the left. Reason is after I run through on the left, all my cable will come from the left. It will not be left and right. Okay, so what you can do is you can slot it first, just to make sure you're not confused later on. Okay, so from here is the left. There is this hole near the bottom bracket here. Okay, then on the right rear frame. Okay, so put it like that first. Okay, so from here, okay, remember there's this cap over here. You gotta put it through. Okay, then run through the cable. So what happened? What happened if you don't see the cable come out? Again, this is just for demonstration purpose. So because this cable hose, right, is too long already. Now, you also got to decide what is what, just to make sure the thing flush with your brake hose later on. So for now, we leave this at it is first. Then we proceed to mount the brake lever. Okay, and try to set up the cable on the rear brake first. Then you are able to make sure that the cable will have the same length with the shifting hose and the brake hose. If not, you don't want this to be this long and then the other one is a bit short. You know what I mean? So over here, okay, so just for info, some brake, their hose is already cut to the length. Some are not. Most of the time it's not, because different bike have probably different length. So you need to cut the brake hose, right, if you want to fit it nicely. But I think Passion Gadget site have already shortened the brake cable for me, so it's a good thing. So what I'm gonna do, right, slot in the brake lever. As I mentioned, you can see it's supposed to be like that. After which, right, you're just gonna mount the rear brake first. Okay, so this is the rear caliper, this is the mount, and this is the two bolt. So it's easy. Just find this two hole over here. Try to screw it in first. After which, this is a 5mm Allen key bolt. Okay, this thing, you are able to tighten it, no issue. Alright. Okay, so now the rear caliper is on. Okay, so usually what I do is after the thing is mounted, right, this is a place where you run your brake hose. Okay, for me, I use cable tie, standard, the black color one. It's good, secure. Right, so put it on. So I always do in a way, later on I can flip this down and you hide at the bottom. Okay, so you apply for all. So as you can see, when I put it this way, these two cables are almost side by side. And then on later, you have your front brake cable will come from here and three can combine together. Okay, so right now, right, as you can see, this is how long the brake hole is. This is how potentially, if you don't cut the shifting cable. So what I'm going to do is, right, pull from the rail. Okay, it's my habit to make these two cables align, right, with some buffer. So later on when we grip together, this will be nicely fitted and will not look like messy. So once this is aligned properly, right, so what I'm going to do is remove this, pull out some distance for the shifting cable to come out first, so that we can cut the rear on the hose or the cable casing, just to make sure everything's aligned. So while you hold on the front, right, you need to take measure how much you need to cut. You do not need to put it like that. This is dangerous, you may get hooked on something. So for me, it's always about this length. Okay, so when there's this length, you're still able to pull a little bit front if you need to. Okay, so over here, I'll take this as the guide. Right, cable cutter. What I do, cut it off. Right. After which, you use this to open up the hole. So at this juncture, you are able to push the cable back into the hole. Okay, but before that, same thing, fix on the cap here. Okay, so we're going to do, push the cable from the front. Okay. You can see the cable coming from the other side. Okay, so pull a little bit. One in. Okay, so over here, to get this thing fixed, you need two items. One is a 4mm Allen key, the other one is a plier. Okay, so release this. There is a groove here that you're able to see. Slot it through, go through it. Alright, make sure your cable is in the groove. After which, tighten slightly. Okay. So of course the other thing is you need to make sure that this is already on the gear 10. Okay. What you're gonna do, pull it. Okay. And tighten this. Just like that for now. So meanwhile, if you want to know whether it works, right, you can try to shift. Okay. Okay, so next, what you're gonna do, you're gonna mount the front brake. Right, same thing. You roughly tighten it first. Okay, this is good enough for now, and then you adjust the caliper. Okay, same thing, the caliper, the mount, okay, the side for the bolt. Same thing over here, cable tie. Okay, so at this juncture, right, you can just cut off the unnecessary one. So after you have put in all the cable, what you can do is you can get this cable organizer and string up the three cables together. In this way, it is neatly organized, and you do not need to wrap all the way up because this allows adjustment to be done. Okay, so at this juncture, the brake shifting derailleur is all up. The next thing I'll put is the bottom bracket, the crank, the chain ring, then eventually the chain. Okay, so next, what you're going to do, fit in the handle grip, push all the way, while you loosen the shifter and the brake lever so you can allow the movement needed. Right? So what I do is usually I'll have the Light Pro wording facing up, so the bolt comes from here. Okay, so loosen it. So this is the maximum. Okay, what I can do is tighten up. So there's a side cap, right? Push in. Okay, so in this way, roughly, you can already determine the position of your brake lever. So do not over tighten, right? Because the actual rider will probably know what he or she wants. And remember, right, we are using the carbon handlebar versus the alu is different, so you cannot over tighten it because the carbon may have a hairline crack, so we do not want that as well. Okay, so it's done. Okay, as usual, before we mount the DB, what I do is I will grease the crack. Right, same thing, these are for future when we remove it, or sometimes the bike probably going through water. This will help to protect the track from rusty. Okay, next, this is the bottom bracket. Just make sure you're able to see there's a left and a right. Okay, the right. And this is a ceramic bottom bracket. And this 3-ring, this is a spacer for you to use. For me, usually I will use 1 each when it comes to Terra 10 speed. You can use up to 3. Okay, this is just to sometimes some of them use double stand. I'll use single stand. If you don't use stand, it doesn't matter. But most importantly is it will be useful on the drive side. Whether it's 1, 2 or nothing, just to make sure that the drivetrain chain line give the best optimum performance. So for the BB, my little tactic here, I will grease inside. Well, this is my personal, I don't call it recipe, but just my personal way. Okay, so for start, I'll put 1 inch. Okay, if I'm facing the bike this way, in order to turn that left hand side is anti-clockwise. If you look from here, it's clockwise. Okay, so where you have this piece over here, they can push, sorry, not this piece, this piece. This is for the drive side. One spacer in. Okay, so to tighten both, over here is anti-clockwise. So when you face here, this is anti-clockwise, this is also anti-clockwise. Okay, what you do is take the wrench, make sure it's tightened. Okay, BB is up. So next is the crank. So same thing, the crank, I'll grease this part most, because this part is the part where they engage the bottom bracket. Technically I will grease the whole thing slightly, but grease more on the two sides. Okay, over here, slightly, because they're going to tighten the other part. So you do not need to over it. So mix in, push it in. Okay. Okay, so the left hand crank, you have this bolt. Normally it comes with a tool, right? You can tighten it, but this is for me a bit difficult. So I have actually a 9mm Allen key that I can use, right, to tighten it. So same thing over here, mount on, right? If you want to know how to do the BB, there is a video that you can look into it. Okay, so once you got it, just need to make sure you don't need to over tighten everything. As I mentioned before, just make sure if this is moving, this is not, is good. Okay, so what you're gonna do is tighten the 5mm side bolt first. Okay, so one is done, you can go back and tighten this. Okay, now see, this is important, huh? Okay, then at this juncture, I will then install the chain ring. So there is 5, it really depends. You can see like go here, like go here. This is 53T. Okay, if you like the position that you are looking at, there's this 2 bolt. This for the rear, this for the front. Okay, so pick a spot first.
Okay, put it in. Try to do not need to tighten very tight for now. And go for the opposite one. Okay, so once you have tightened up all, just go around and make sure the bolts are properly tightened. Okay, good. Okay, so for the cassette installation next, you got to grease slightly on the hub. Okay, there's this piece over here. You gotta fix it in first. Look for the widest gap. Okay. Next, you can see there's always this thicker one here. Okay. See? Next, you can grease a bit on the track. As I mentioned, these are all for future protective in case you need to open up. Okay, so next, after the cassette, go to mount on the rotor. Check it out if there's a direction. Just make sure you follow accordingly. Right. So it's done. So right now you're gonna apply for the same for the front wheel. Okay, once you have fixed up the wheel, right, we're gonna mount it on. Okay, so now after the wheel is done, let's fix up the front wheel. Okay, so next, right, is to align the rotor. So my preferred way is always to use this right brake. You probably can do 3 times, right? Then you tighten the caliper. Right, no need to tighten super tight because you probably might need some adjustment. Okay, see, most of the time it works nicely. So when it's done, tighten up and down. So if you, I mean, I've done this through my fork, my bike servicing video as well. Okay, good. Okay, so for the rail, it's the same, right? because when you actually compress the lever, right, so that's the space is required. Okay, so when this thing happens, what we're gonna do, right, you gotta come over and really look into the groove here to make some adjustment. Okay, so I'm going to show you, I hope I can get the best angle. So as you can see, the caliper is towards the right. That's where the brake rotor have rubbed against it. If I were to spin, see there's a sound. Okay, so what I'm going to do, release this a little bit, push it. So now can you see left and right there's equal space. Okay, equal space. Slowly tighten. Now, right, it will not hit. Okay, so once it's done, same thing, tighten up and down slowly. Right, just to make sure it's there. And then what you can do is go to the front, try to press the brake. Okay, so it's good. Okay, the next thing I'll do is I'll fix up the pedal because later I'll need to hold it to tune the derailleur. So before you mount the pedal, just make sure you put some grease on the thread. Okay, so for the prop mat pedal, there is one that it says on the left, this is on the right. Okay, so just for your info, you can see here M86C. This is actually for modern bike. Okay, there is normal model is for a road bike. It is smaller. So for me, I'll still buy the M86C because it's wider, easier to pedal, but it's very light. So this is really a good pedal. Okay, so what you can do is on the left one, all you need to do is plug it in here. Use a 6mm Allen key and turn it facing you. Turn clockwise. Okay. After which, tighten it. You do not need to tighten super tight, right? Because the direction that you're using, it will not loosen the pedal at all. Not that I know of, but none of them have ever cycled till the pedal came off, unless it really breaks. Okay, so next will be the chain. Okay, for me I have the chain hook, so it's easy to work. So what I do is hook it, right? Then the chain link, I'm gonna do. Okay, what's the right length of the chain? By right, this is 116. You're able to use. You do not need to shorten. Okay, because you can either adjust the cage, pulley cage tension. Of course, you can shorten the chain link. So the next size chain link you probably can take out is about 2 link. Okay, once you hook up the chain, as you can see, it's up already. So what I do is I will still wipe off the first layer of the chain. Okay folks, so right now I'm going to share how I'm going to adjust the derailleur. Alright, you want a bit more specific one, please check out my episode that's on how you can adjust your derailleur. Okay? So once the tuning is done, you cut this away. Normally I give it about this length, about 3 finger. Okay, you cut it off, and you probably need this. Okay, so we are almost done there. The final is the saddle. As I mentioned earlier, this is the SR Sally Royale saddle. This is a very comfy saddle. So those people who are using it, you will know it. Okay, so let's share how you're going to mount this thing on. Okay, so you have the seat pole. These are all the tools that we have. Okay, it's not that complicated. So we're gonna do this piece over here. Okay, gotta put it through. Then the screw. Okay, basically you twist a little bit. These two things gotta be the same direction. Okay. Okay, so you'll see this base. Okay, so we're gonna do mount on the saddle. Right, the saddle, most of the saddle have some gauge point for you to tell you where you can mount and where you can't. So easy. Go up. You see that? Okay. So of course, you need to screw this up. So as I mentioned, you need to screw this up. Okay, so it's there, it's loose. Okay, as I always mention, the saddle, it should be parallel to the floor. So it's going to fix it. Okay. Okay, as I mentioned, you can use the add core measure. Right, you can get the lever ruler. Right, sorry. Just check it out. If this is 0, yeah, this is almost 0. The front here, okay, this is 0. So this is good. This is good. You are able to tighten it. Okay, so for those who do not know, when your seat pole structure is as such, when you tighten a lot here, this thing will hit down. So you got to be balanced if this is really the correct position that you want. But if you want it to adjust this way, so you got to loosen this and tighten this. Okay, so this is the give and take setting. Okay, make sure the saddle have no free play. Okay, so this is good. And we have technically complete the bike. Okay, to complete the bike, this sticker font for the Queers Velocity. Right, total there are 4 big Queers logo, 2 Velocity word, and 2 C for the 4. All these are really thanks and appreciate Sticker Creation for sponsoring them for this project of mine or this episode. Right, I'd like to shout out to them, and because all the while, all my stickers are from them. Now check it out. Okay, usually, right, those who got it from them, you probably need to go down and find them. For me, I've been pasting this for many times. Right, so for this particular bike, I will DIY and do it. Okay, so for those who have pasted such a sticker, remember 1 week, you are not supposed to jack spray or wash your bike. Okay? know, these stickers really uplift the look of the bike. So as you can see, when there's no sticker, the word is very light. Okay, some different frame have different color. But right now, I'm gonna do this. Isn't it nice? Here we go. Okay, so this is the C I'm talking about. Okay folks, let's guess the weight of this build. 10.5 kg.
Okay folks, so how do you find today's episode? Does it benefit you, or the curiosity of you wanting to build a bike on your own or change parts or whatever? Okay, because initially I also have done one episode that's on bike servicing on my own bike. If you are able to do that, building a bike, you just need a certain particular tools, right, to fix up certain things. The first time when I built my own bike, of course there's always hiccup and things doesn't go well as I wanted. But over the time, as I keep modifying the bike, understand everything, the process, what to do first, what to do next. Okay, these are very important things. Okay, so hope that this episode have value add you in your curiosity or wanting to build a bike on your own. Alright, if you really want to build a bike, I mean these days, when folk ask me, I'll say that you can actually go down to Passion Gadget, or if you want, give Colette, right? So you know her number, give Colette a call or text her and check out what are available things and what are the options that you can do. Maybe you want to buy a bike that is built ready. They also offer like custom bike. So currently their place they are doing some renovation. They used to be at 0207. Right now they are at 0209. But it's just side by side. Okay. While they are trying to renovate the place, make it more nice and beautiful for you folks to visit them. Okay, and if you need sticker, of course, right, feel free to contact Sticker Creation, Ashen, right? If anybody want their contacts, you can PM me. Okay, so if you like this episode, or you have liked my content so far, I sincerely hope that you probably can like, share this content, and do help to subscribe if you have not done so. Okay, because all this, the only key motivation why I'm doing all this video, partly I want to share what I know, partly I hope whatever I share can be on some space, right? When you need them, it's available to you, right? So to the next episode, as I always say, is bye for now. Take care.